God. I hear an echo.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. It's Thursday night. We're back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the NLG show, the return. And we've got with us a great guest. Gonna have a fun time tonight. We'll try to keep this compact. I understand it's Gears night. So
all right, thanks for watching.
Yes. Right.
Yep, see y'all later.
So good night, everybody. Well, the sad part of my life is I was the one guy in probably the entire world who did not pre-download it.
You're fired.
I know. I did not. So so what's up, gentlemen? How's everybody doing?
I'm alive.
Awesome.
Yes. And
Gears 5, I'm off tomorrow.
there we go.
Gaming.
Nice. And over to our far right, or my far right, I think it's everybody else's far left, our great special guest for tonight. He is so where you got I never got a chance to ask you officially. Is it Windows Central? Is that where we are?
Okay, so technically speaking, I am a freelancer working with Mobile Nations. Mobile Nations is a big media company. They own multiple websites. Windows Central is one of them. Obviously, great PC and Xbox coverage there, Microsoft products. The team there is led by Al Sacco, who recently got promoted, and then Jez Corden, obviously. But we also have two other gaming-focused sites with Android Central, which covers Android gaming and PlayStation-related content now. Over the last year, Jennifer Locke has done a great job spinning up that platform. And then on iMore, we have a ton of Nintendo Switch stuff, actually, that we cover. We cover all sorts of stuff. Like, we're one of the best authorities for Pokemon Sword and Shield right now. So if you're interested in that, we've already got tons and tons of stuff up over there. So if it's easy for you to say I'm from Windows Central, then I understand. You can say that. But in reality, I contribute to all three gaming sites equally.
Okay.
Awesome.
Our special guest tonight.
Bad tagging you with Windows Central.
I know that's not the answer. You were compact.
It's
that you were
good enough. Our special guest tonight from Mobile Nations is our great friend Sam Tolbert. Which is great to have you back on the show tonight. It's been too long as always, and I was so glad. you're able to join us tonight. So how's the wisdom teeth? The lack of thereof.
Still, being perfectly honest with you, I'm still a little tender in the back, but I'm doing pretty well. Like, my energy came back, just. It can't even snap. My hands are just away. My energy came back really quick. Like, the surgery went well, no complications.
Excellent.
The funny thing is, like, the dentist actually told me I have enough space in my mouth for those teeth. It was just barely. So the great thing is there's actually a bunch of space back there now, so I'm fantastic.
All right.
They've still got me on, so like a little bit of painkiller.
Sure.
Take the edge off, right?
I would imagine so.
No complications. Everything's going well. I'll be back to yammering people's ears off soon enough.
Well, starting with us tonight. So
with y'all.
I'm so delighted. Plus, since tonight is Gears launch night, you are you're an excellent person to have on because if I remember correctly, you've already gone through the campaign, right?
Yes. I didn't review it for our site. That Jez reviewed it, but I've been working on some other stuff. So, like collectible guides, I can give you a hint. Like, we've got some guides coming out tomorrow, hopefully, the day after that at Absolute Max, I'm working on right now that detail all the collectibles, all the upgrades, how you can do that sort of stuff. Because, spoiler alert, there's a lot of collectibles. Like, the most ever in a Gears game here. So I've been working on that stuff. I did play through the campaign. Haven't gotten to play any of the multiplayer, like the Horde or the Escape or Versus. I was focused solely on the campaign over the last couple of days.
Nice. All right, cool. So we'll get some insight from you, and as we talk about it, because I know Peter's playing it. It's okay. I give him a pass.
No, I'm not playing it. I mean, I have it on. I'm looking at it right
If
now.
we don't have at least one of us playing it while we're on here, we'd be proud. So
It's
we're okay.
turned on.
Peter's keeping us honest.
Who can blame the man if he just goes over and, like, just a little bit every now and then he comes back. Whenever Mike's not paying attention, who can blame him?
Right. Hey, what's that over there? Yeah, I got you. No, it's no, I understand. And hey, I want to say what's up to the greatest chat room on the internet. I'm going to try to see if I can make that text a little smaller so we can get a little more of that chat in there. But I want to thank people for showing up tonight. Looks like we have a couple of new folks, and Brother Eric is in the house. So want to say thank you. I know he said he was going to drop in while he was playing Gears, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
We got to get Brother Eric on here. He hasn't been on here yet, I don't think. I know he
Next
thinks
time
he
you
has.
get-
I can recall.
Been on WDFC, but not
Oh, he's been on
Well-
WDFC. All right, well, that's the same thing these days.
Yeah, why not?
So,
It's all good.
yes.
You got
Samuel
Coop and Indie Gamer.
Oh, yeah.
I know, Indy's, man, the man with the great video. We were talking because earlier we were talking about his latest video, and I was actually watching the wrong latest video. So he's got a great video of indie games coming out of Gamescom, and if you have not followed and subbed to Indie Gamer, please do. The man is amazing. Chris tried to recruit him earlier, so just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, trying. And of course, we got Annihilator,
Niall's in the
All
chat.
right, yeah.
Niall's in the chat.
PlayStation streamer.
Our PlayStation guy. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. He did a dynamite Plague Tale Innocence stream, and if you and it's actually a walkthrough. So what I did was I pulled out all the death scenes, and we turned it into a full walkthrough. If you guys have not had a chance to see that, it's up on the YouTube page. It's a phenomenal. He did a great job. Got to get him to talk more while he's streaming, but he was concentrating on beating that game, and he did a great job with it. So if you haven't checked out Niall's Plague Tale Innocence playthrough, or if you're just stuck somewhere and you need to figure out how to get through it, that walkthrough is fantastic. So
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Do we have the Spider-Man walkthroughs on YouTube yet, or
I have to look, but I think we do have the Spider-Man videos up. I have to double check. I'm pretty sure that we did. So, and I watched them a while back, but I did not watch them while I was playing it. So, I had to make sure they were at the ready just in case I needed help. But yeah, the Spider-Man is up on. There's a section in our YouTube channel called NLG/WDFC Plays Compilations. His Spider-Man one is there. His Red Dead Redemption 2 one is there, as well as his Plague Tale Innocence. So, yeah.
Quick shout out to Coop, who went to PAX West.
Yes.
We did a little quick show and tell on his little PAX West adventure on Saturday. So
Also up on our channel.
Check that out.
Yep. So WDFC, and it was a WDFC. I want to thank you, Chris, actually, for helping hold the fort down while Peter and I were away the last couple weeks with some great WDFC content.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Friday?
Yep.
And then last Saturday, me and Coop. So no, it was good. It's good. That was the one Saturday. It was the FC minus WD. So just a fast back and Coop. But no, it was good. Good pictures, good insight from a couple indie games. And you know what's funny, when the indie gamer was in that chat, and he already knew what the games that already knew what they were before Coop can even say it. So,
Well, that's because
Jago and Macaval.
I saw Macaval earlier.
Shizno. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
So, and welcome Shizno Elite. We hope you enjoy our show. I tell you, you know what? I'm because we know that Gears is dropping and we know that people want to get rolling on that and stuff. I am, bottom of my heart, man. I am it blows me away that we got this many people rolling in the chat already. So, they know how I feel about them. They know how we feel about them. These are our brothers in gaming, and I appreciate it. I really do, especially those of you guys who are playing, like Eric's playing it, and he's listening at the same time. That means a lot. It means a ton. So, and speaking of Gears 5, so go ahead, Sam. This is one of the reasons we wanted you to really come on and talk to us. And glad that you had to postpone to tonight, because you'd be able to be our one of our best Gears experts this evening.
Well, full disclosure, if I hadn't gotten into it, you probably wouldn't have got me on tonight. I'm just letting you know.
That's all.
I would have.
That's fair enough.
Sorry.
Fair enough.
But it worked out. It worked out.
It worked out perfectly.
All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. I'm fresh off this game. I'm still in it, really, because I'm still doing stuff. I'm still playing it. I'm going to go back through the campaign soon, wrap up like missing collectibles and all that. Why don't you shoot some questions to me? Because if you let me start, I'm not going to stop talking about this. I'm not going to have a reaction. So why don't you? Do you have any questions? Is what I'm going to say now.
Let me start with this. In your opinion, what's your favorite Gears campaign?
My favorite Gears campaign 3. Okay.
Ooh.
Before this, it was 3. It's tough now because this campaign is excellent. This campaign is phenomenal. I'm not sure it's better than 3. I'm not quite sure it's my favorite, but if it's not, it's definitely firmly my second favorite, easily.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, chat room guys, open up to you guys as well. If you have a question,
by all means,
let's bring it. Let's bring it. You guys are part of the show, man. So, what was it about 3? Because I thought
3's pacing is insane. Have any of you played 3 within like the last year? Have any of you replayed that recently?
I'd have to go back.
No.
All right. I replayed it recently with Eric, actually. We played all the mainline games in the lead up to 5 in co-op. We played through those together. And 1 is great. 1 is a classic. 2, the improvements to the franchise are phenomenal. Like being able to pick up meat shields, the wider vehicle section with the Centaur tank. I love that. The more cinematic approach to the story. 2 did a lot of stuff right, don't get me wrong. The different guns it introduced and the different executions. Do you guys remember back in the original Gears of War, the only executions were the chainsaw and curb stomp?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you believe? And now Gears of War is one of those games where it's known for its ridiculous, over-the-top executions.
Right.
So 2 brought a lot to the series. Don't get me wrong, but 3 did something different. 3 wasn't just the presentation. It wasn't just the fact that it was the culmination, the brothers to the end, the way they went hard on like Dom and Marcus and Cole and Baird, and how everything was coming crashing down with the Lambent invasion. It had a heart and I think a soul in Dom's story that the others don't. And then when you pair that with the pacing, guys, the pacing in Gears of War 3 is ridiculous. You just snap from one section to the other. Bam, 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 bam. I completely forgot about the airship section. But did you remember that? I completely. There's a section where you're like piloting that Locust aircraft, and then you drop down and rescue Dizzy from these Theron guards, and then you load up on heavy weapons and get back up, and then you crash back in. But then immediately you've got to defend the fort because the Lambent Berserker attacks. And like, guys, Gears of War 3 is insane. in its pacing. Like it's set piece after set piece after set piece. They were cramming stuff in there. So that's a long-winded way of me saying Gears of War 3, that campaign still holds up. I know Gears 5 is out right now.
Was that the one that in the end you were inside the whatever the hell that beast was?
No, that was 2.
That
was
okay.
An excellent part.
See, that's what made that one my favorite.
Okay, and that's totally fair. Like I'll say this is though, Gears of War 2, again prior to this game, like this is pre me playing 5, had my favorite section of any game, which was the Rift Worm and then going to the abandoned New Hope facility with the sires and all the creepy horror vibes that had. But Gears of War 3, like, it holds a special place in my heart. And then when you consider the overall package as well, right? I mean, I don't even want to think about how many hours I put into Horde. Okay, I put so many hundreds, if not like well over 1,000 hours into Horde, playing that with my brothers and with my friends at the time. Like, everyone had a 360, even if it was just for like Gears 3 and Halo Reach. That's what I remember. That was my multiplayer heyday. But Gears 5, I don't want to spoil some of the stuff that they do, because here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. It's not a complete reinvention. The Coalition isn't reinventing the wheel or anything. They're not changing what the game is. But they're taking that Gears DNA, and they're saying, hey, what if we took these core mechanics, and then we applied them as to a more open area? What if we gave you a skiff, and you can just choose to go and do this mission here, and do this kind of stuff? What if we allowed you to manipulate the environment to take out your enemies instead of just gunning them down? And they do that at a very rapid pace, very similar to Gears of War 3, where every other level it seems like they're introducing a new mechanic. It might not be a big deal. It's not something that stays there for long, but they're trying new, fresh ideas constantly. And that freshness keeps you on your toes all throughout Gears 5. I'm telling you guys, you are not prepared for some of what's coming.
Well, and so, this is what, oh man, I don't know, I wanted to avoid.
It's okay.
It's old school gaming.
I get the problem. The problem is that I'm on social media, so I almost don't have a choice sometimes. I didn't understand some of the. Well, it's the same old Gears. So, do you guys remember, Peter and Chris, when we talked about it was just after the tech test, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because we used this in our channel trailer. That part about, Peter said, Chris said something about modifying your weapons or stuff like that, and I'm like, no, making it into an RPG, and I'm like, no, I don't want to stick my Lancer into a grunt, make him good, and all I want to do is just have someone just give me something to pump, to sponge my bullets into. Gears, this whole thing where Gears has to change into some other game in order for it to be good, in order for it to be, the best game ever. I don't know where that came from. I don't.
Okay, here's the thing. Can I interrupt, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay. God of War and Gears of War had something in common. They both had games come out in 2013 that didn't really get received well. Do you remember? We had Gears of War Judgment, and then we had God of War Ascension.
Right.
Here's the thing. Gears of War Judgment was not bad because of the Gears stuff it kept. That's not the reason that game wasn't liked. That game wasn't liked because while they tried fresh ideas, they played it very safe with the story, which isn't necessarily a problem. Like, okay, fine, you can have a safe story, but they got rid of things that people liked and loved, like Horde. And then they changed up multiplayer in weird ways where it's like, wait, we've got humans killing humans, and you can only play as the Locust in certain modes. What the crap? What's going on here? That's why people didn't like Judgment. They didn't hate it because of Gears gameplay. God of War Ascension was a signal that that type of game was over. God of War Ascension is a perfectly good game. Go back and play it if you have a PS3. There's nothing wrong with it, what it's doing. It's more of what God of War 3 is. But that formula wasn't cutting it anymore. That's why Corey Barlog and the team at Sony Santa Monica had to do a real deep introspective dive and go, okay, what actually matters here? What can we do to change up God of War and like essentially reboot things, but also keep it focused on Kratos, but also actually evolve him as a character? God of War had to change massively. Gears of War did not have to change in that respect. It didn't have to be reinvented. So I get what you're going at, Mike, because I agree with you. This idea that Gears had to completely change is ridiculous. It had to evolve and grow. And I'm very happy to say that's what they've done.
But also, you know, I've said this before, so it's not like I'm breaking any new ground. Is that when it comes to these two franchises that Microsoft has, Gears and Halo, these guys, the fans of the series, don't know what they want. You know, Halo 5 got.
I more for Halo than Gears, but
well,
yes,
but Halo 5 got tagged because it changed too much. You know, I still remember when they added dashing to Halo, and people went nuts. And I'm like, well, we just want the same old Halo we loved. So when it came to Gears 4, even though it got very high scores, got tagged because, well, it's the same old Gears. Well, make up your minds. And that's my problem. And so they're doing it. People are doing it again. Gears of War is a game of it's a game of attrition. Okay, you are supposed to go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, I think it's more an issue for Halo, because the problem with Halo is, and I don't want to get sidetracked into that, because I know we have a lot to cover, but the issue is that 343 is not going to be able to make everyone happy, no matter what they do. There's literally no way. They can't change it, or they can't grow it, but they can't keep it the same. That's a different issue. Gears, I think, once people start playing it, and you start to see what I'm talking about, I think the complaints about Gears, from sane people anyways, are going to shut up. At this point, I think people are going to stop complaining about Gears when they see what the Coalition has done here and how they're growing it, because they haven't taken away. Nothing has been taken away here from what Gears is, but they've given you more options.
That's what I like to hear. That's what's got me excited about it. You know, it was, you know, and I was, and you know, these guys had to talk me off the ledge with the campaign footage and the lack thereof, and not being able to know what I was, the all that stuff. And then when they started to show it, I'm like, okay, this is what I wanted to see. You could have shown this to me. Could have shown this to me at E3. It had been all right. You know.
Yeah, the Kate Unleashed trailer. Like, on the one hand, I definitely think that should have been shown at E3. Like, I get what you were going for, Rod. I still think that trailer should have been shown at E3.
Right.
With that in mind, that trailer was awesome, and I'm happy to confirm the game.
Oh my god, the trailer was fantastic. The trailer was exactly what I wanted.
Else, right? So.
So I mean, but that's the thing. Sorry, I'm snacking.
Okay.
So it's a cardinal rule of podcasts that you're not supposed to snack on chips when you eat. But you know what? It's been a long week. So
yeah, but I definitely agree with y'all. Definitely, like when you were talking about God of War, you know, definitely the direction that it went, the change, it was a big step, and for them, and came out great. You're looking at Gears, it still has that same Gears formula, right? They want it to feel like a Gears game, but some involvement. So, you know, a while back I heard rumor of, you know, being a little bit more open, and I love open world games where I can kind of explore and so on. So when I heard that, I was very excited, because I've never really been the God of War player. I really didn't care for the first ones, few in the past. But when I saw the direction that God of War, the latest one, went, I was excited for that because that's the type of games that I like.
Mhm.
So, and Gears 5, I can't wait to jump into that and do a little bit of exploration and along with the
Absolutely.
campaign. So.
Oh, and by the way, I just want to stamp something out right now. The whole thing, yes, the game is 4 acts. It does break Gears tradition. It's 4 acts, not 5. But the people who were like, "Oh no, the campaign's going to be short," nonsense. You have nothing to worry about. This is the longest Gears campaign ever.
Wow.
If you choose to do the side missions, it'll take you a good 10, 11 hours.
One big question I have, since we've heard a while back it being open, it's not necessarily like a huge open world, right? I mean, is it kind of like a linear open where you can go, you have your choice to go between missions and
here's
side missions?
It's not open world. Think like the silent cartographer from the first Halo, but bigger. It's like one big. And when you get to here, like, and this is not a spoiler. Okay, this is not a spoiler. All right, I'll say this: Act 1 is traditional Gears in terms of, wider areas, thin areas, corridors, but it's like it's Gears, like it's what you've done before. Act 2 and Act 3, however, are very wide. They are these big areas that you get access to, and you have the skiff. You've seen it in the trailer that you can use to go around. And if you want, you can just go from main mission to main mission. And by the way, that skiff is a blast to control. I actually had to stop.
So, I wanted to ask you about the skiff because
it's great. Okay. I love it.
All right, so
I love it. They've something cool where you can actually store 2 weapons on the skiff, which makes you think ahead. Like, okay, I don't use the sniper rifle right now, but if I'm willing to walk back and forth a bit, I can put this rifle on the skiff, go grab a different gun, take that with me, and then I'll have this rifle if I decide to do some sniping or like a mulcher for something. Like a big gun that you don't want to carry around too much, but you'd like to have it with you.
See,
I really like it.
See, this is why I'm glad you're here, because I don't think I've heard anybody else. All I've heard is, the skiff is just, boring and dead space going between places. You are the first person.
I shamelessly self-promote our review because I know for a fact Jez Corden mentioned it in there. So I will shamelessly promote that. But I'm glad. I'm glad to hear it. No, and it's not like Red Dead or even like Witcher or anything like that in terms of open world. Like, no, it is, you're going from location to location, but you have that freedom. Like, again, one of the coolest things for me is I'm skimming over this icy field and something catches the corner of my eye. I'm not even sure what it is. And so I go around the cliff and it's like this small fishing hut. I'm like, okay, so I check it out. There's a note from a guy who died there. And then there's a relic gun. And now the relic guns in Gears 5 are these really hard to get a hold of special guns that there's only one of each. Like there's a relic long shot, a relic bolt hawk, etc. I think there's one for each gun, but I'm not sure about that part. And they do something special. So like the relic long shot, if you do an active reload on it, you get 2 shots. And as you know, the long shot only holds 1. So getting 2 shots with a sniper rifle, bam, bam, like that is kind of a big deal. The relic bolt hawk can just be hip fire accurately instead of having to aim. And it's like, I like that. I like just that moment where I could have skimmed on by. I could have done the main mission a little faster, but I saw something out of the corner of my eye, go around the cliff. I was like, this is neat. I checked it out and I got a really cool gun because of it. I like that kind of thing. That's not taking away from what Gears is. That's just giving you, hey, are you willing to take this extra 2, maybe 3 minutes tops to go explore and get something? We'll reward you for it. And there are side missions as well. I don't want to go too in-depth on those because some of them are actually well written. There's actual thought put into them, which really surprised me. I was expecting fetch quest, to be honest. Like, hey, go get 10 of these and bring them back. Like, no, it's nothing like that.
Good.
It's actually really well done.
Good, because I couldn't.
And there's not too many. It's not too many side quests. It's just a handful. It's just a handful in Act 2 and a handful in Act 3. But I like that. You're breathing life into it. You're giving us something new to do. I love that kind of thing. I will eat it up all day long.
Is there more lore from the books?
Yes, and
lore
say on that. Like,
the main campaign? Yeah.
You will be. There is plenty of lore. Okay, you know what? I don't want to. Okay, I want to be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
careful here about the story because
Yeah.
there's a lot of. Here's what I'll say: they dive into the political aspects of the COG more than I expected.
Oh.
That's kind of it. They dive into like, hey, the Pendulum Wars. You know, when the COG versus the UIR.
Right.
Do you actually know what that war was about? Because I'll bet you don't. And the results might surprise you, or like, oh. Do you know what this person actually did when they were in charge of the military back then? Do you want to know how they handled this situation? Might surprise you. There's a couple of things about people that you thought you knew that's like, oh, okay. And again, it's not like they're trying to hammer in a point or anything. They're just saying, hey, this happened. I want you to think about that. But that's as specific as I'll be without spoilers. I really don't want to give any of these specific.
No, that's. Okay, because that
just puts more depth into the game than besides just the campaign story. You know, that's what I want to hear. So yeah.
Well, and
really
I don't want to be a complete hypocrite because I said, I just want. This is what I want out of my Gears.
No,
So
if you're still going to get that, but you're going to get plus.
Right, and I think if that's the case, so when I thought about that partial open world, I thought to myself, could this be like God of War or Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, where you have areas, but and you progress through, even though you could go back if you wanted to go collect whatnot, but you had to make your way through, but it wasn't. You're right, like Witcher or Red Dead Redemption or something like that.
Or Rise of the Tomb Raider is a very good comparison, Mike. I'll say that. That's a very good comparison for how it works. Because it's not open world, it's more hub, if that makes sense. And it does warn you. If you're concerned about not finding all the stuff in the area, it warns you when you're about to leave and says, hey, at this point, you will be leaving this area and you can no longer explore here. So it gives you a heads up as well.
Okay, so
interesting.
That's what I'm okay with, and that's what I was hoping for. I don't think a full open world Gears of War is so. You start to get into this. Okay, people want something different. What do you want? What do you think you want out of Gears of War? It sounds like the Coalition went right where I wanted it to. If you're gonna do that, and you're gonna be open world to an extent, do it that way. Make it that. Yeah. So I'm
what
I'm
people
good.
like about Gears, and this game does not sacrifice what people like about Gears. It's the same, hardcore, the guns. Oh, but by the way, I'm sure you played the tech test, so you know this, but even if you did, okay, I'm going to say it anyways. You've got here, you're stuck with me. The guns feel great.
Yes.
This is the best.
Yes.
Well, even the snub pistol, for God's sake, I was like, huh? There is power in this thing. Like, the snub pistol is tearing chunks off of enemies. Like, I sprayed the Pouncer with my Lancer at one point, and to my surprise, like, the bullet holes stayed in its head. They didn't leave. It was like, oh, this thing, you're ugly now. I mean, you were ugly before, but it's even worse now. The guns all feel great to use. And you know what the best sign of that is? Through every Gears game, I have always made sure I have a Lancer. It's always, unless I'm completely out of ammo, if I have the option, it's take a Lancer, one other gun. Right? It's like you got a Lancer. This is the first game where I did not do that.
Wow.
This is the first one where I was like, okay, no, actually, I'm going to take this instead, or I'm going to take this new Lancer, because there's a new Lancer as well that it has a grenade launcher. Instead, well, not a grenade, like a launch, instead of a chainsaw. And then there's also the claw machine gun that the Swarm have manufactured. It has all these crystal spikes. And the cool thing about the claw is it has a variable rate of fire. So, it varies from time to time. So if you figure out the pulse, you can get it to just completely decimate guys, and it can block the chainsaw, because it has all the impervious crystals on the back of it. And, and that's just one example. There's a lot of cool stuff they've done, but all the guns feel useful. It's not, oh, I'm stuck with this snub now, or oh, okay, a hammer burst, fine. Like, they all feel great. And I think that was needed, quite frankly. I think that was very needed.
Well, that is the one thing that you know, and you're right, and I did that even in Gears 4. You know, I stuck. Oh, part of it too, though, sticking with the Lancer, kind of also had to do with it. Just again, when I think of Gears, I'm like, that's the Gears gun. That's the weapon. That's you know,
and that's what, and that, Mike, that's why it surprised me that I was okay not taking the Chainsaw Lancer. It surprised me. I was like, oh, I'm actually no, I really want to get this gun, or oh, I really want to get this. Yeah. There's just I really love what they've done there, and I don't need to talk about multiplayer. You guys played the tech test, so you know how it works and all that.
Yeah, I look forward to. And like Sam was saying, I think Gears is going to be my.
Sorry, I'm trying not to crunch on podcast.
It's okay. Hey.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
But yeah, like you were saying, Mike, that you know, we had fun during the tech test, and I look forward to more of that. I think Gears 5 is going to be my go-to for multiplayer. So
until Halo Infinite drops, it's going to be mine. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, as I was saying while I was muted, I am not a multiplayer guy, but I really enjoyed playing with Chris and Peter, and I felt like, and maybe this has a lot to do, Sam, with the way that the weaponry does feel and is more balanced. I felt like I was a lot more in control of my weaponry. I felt like
they've taken a page from Naughty Dog in the animations. I mean, which is not me saying like, oh, they've copied or anything, but like, it's smoother. It's not as mechanically rigid, if that makes any sense at all. Like, there's a smoother, more natural feel to how everything handles.
Well, you know, Marcus and Dom and those guys were big hulking guys. I mean, you know, JD and
right.
and Kate are not. you know,
no, they are actually human size. It's
right.
like, oh, I could achieve that shape.
Right. I mean,
it's gonna be cold.
Marcus and Dom are like halfway between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. I mean,
oh, yeah. like those guys, they're eating good. they eating good. But like JD and Kate, like, I get what you mean, and I think that comes across in the handling. And I think the Coalition did a darn good job, in my opinion, of making the multiplayer simultaneously more approachable, but not alienating and not removing what makes it what makes the hardcore get into it.
Yeah. The only concern that we had when we were playing the tech test was on the arcade mode. You still have PC players in there. Not that they're all good though, but they're still going to have some advantage.
Yeah. I know you can disable if you want. I know you can disable crossplay in ranked modes.
Yeah, and the rank you can. Yeah, which is good.
I don't think they have
it's fair in that. Yeah.
So.
But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, we'll go in there and try to have as fun as we can, and you know, that's just the way it is right now.
Yep.
I will say, I think due to it being a third-person shooter, I don't think there's as much of an advantage as there is for something like a first-person game. It might. And I say that having played Gears of War 4 on my PC as well as my console. Like, I don't think you have quite the same advantage. But you know, that's just my opinion.
And I don't know that I did end up in the arcade mode. I did have a problem when we were matched with PC players, and I'm, you know, I didn't want to go into the ranked. I do I do hope that is something that they are going to address. I mean, I'm all look. I think we're all and I think the big proponent of this is Peter. Is optional crossplay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, in Campaign, Horde, and even Escape, I don't think you need to make it optional because it's all PvE. Like, who cares? You like it being optional there isn't really a big deal.
Right.
But for multiplayer, I'm glad they did it for rank. We'll see. Like, I think as popular, like, as they get a sense of what the population is like, they might have the option, because if they just provide people with the option, most people are honestly, like, according to statistics I've looked at, they're just going to leave it on. And then the people like you guys who know there is an option can go turn it off. That's probably the best compromise. But.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and I think we're still waiting on that on Sea of Thieves to get the option.
Yeah. So. It's just the option. That's what it is, and I think we're going to champion that all day long.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
all.
But I'm definitely all for crossplay. I love it that there's crossplay going on. So it's gonna be real interesting when Call of Duty.
That's
between Xbox and PS4.
Yeah, that really surprised me that they just went for it like that. I'm very curious about how that turns out. I'm very curious, and I'm glad. It seems to me that, like, cross-platform play after Call of Duty does it, it's going to be more the exception than the rule. I think dig into PlayStation. The point is that works. Like, just allow people play cross platforms with each other. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be welcome to 2020. You know, that could be a big push going into next year. Now that I mean that's arguably the biggest game yet to do it.
Oh, I don't think it's arguable. I think it absolutely is.
No,
I'd say question is. Right now it's Destiny, because Destiny 2 is done. Well, they're doing the cross platform, like, transfer, so they're halfway there.
Yeah,
that was a big deal for them. That was a big deal for them. But then in terms of full cross play, Call of Duty doing it is a big deal.
Yeah, no doubt. So, one more time, there's the the Windows Central review of Gears 5 that you can find that Jez did. And I know there's been a little bit of talk of the review. I don't know, the review debate going on in the chat room a little bit. But you know what? Play the game. That's how you're gonna know.
Reviews are guidelines, not rules.
Yeah,
I have to score my reviews, and I will tell you every day. Don't look at the score. Look at what I wrote. Look at what I'm saying. Yeah. Ask me questions about what I wrote. Ask me questions about what I'm saying. That is what's important.
Yeah, and you're going to get what you're going to get out of a review based on what you want to get out of it. So instead of doing that, just play the game, and that's it. Play the game. I'm even though I did not download it, I will be taking care of that. I know. I'll be taking care of that and having it ready for tomorrow. So, but I'm
looking forward to your thoughts. I'm looking forward to your thoughts.
Yeah,
when you start typing that mic.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll with it, because I've been trying to keep myself busy with other games up until that time. So I went back and experienced Batman Arkham Asylum again.
How was that?
Oh my goodness. So if you are any bit of a fan of the Spider-Man game, the PS4 Spider-Man game, which I platinumed,
Good game. Very good game.
Excellent game. The mechanics are somewhat like that in that the fighting mechanics are, but there's a lot of the game is vintage Batman. I mean, it is. It's one of the few games that I actually beat. I beat the game, and I said, you know what? I got about 25 collectibles left. Screw it. I'm going back in the game, and I'm going to get all the collectibles. And went around, because in that game, going around and finding the collectibles and having to get all of your gadgetry to get the collectibles is a game in and of itself. You could take the... Because at that point, there were no more bad guys for me to fight. But just going and getting the rest of the stuff inside the asylum that I couldn't get earlier in the game because I didn't have the gadget yet for it was really cool. And so it's the first game that I went back and I did that with. I also appreciated the fact that you had the voice acting from I can never remember. I always remember the Joker's Mark Hamill, but Batman's voice. Hold on, I'm looking him up now. Who does the voiceover for Batman in the cartoons? Yes.
It was Kevin Conroy.
Yes, and I think that he is. I think he's in these as well. At least he's in Arkham Knight. I thought he was in Arkham Asylum. Yes, Kevin Conroy is Batman and Bruce Wayne and Kevin Conroy in Asylum, and Joker is Mark Hamill, and Arlene Sorkin is Harley Quinn, and so I mean it's neat having that as part of it because it almost becomes like an episode of. But I can't. I loved it, and if Gears wasn't out, I probably would be going through the rest of the series. I probably would have started Arkham City.
What that game did for superheroes in video games cannot be overstated.
Oh, it paved the way for Spider-Man, no doubt.
It paved the way for Spider-Man. I know everyone remembers City, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. Everyone remembers Arkham City. But it wouldn't have been possible without what Arkham Asylum did. It wouldn't.
Absolutely. And that was another game that isn't open world, but Arkham Asylum was huge. There were 3 pieces of it, and then the Batcave. So I mean, it was a large play field for you to go through. So it was so enjoyable. And then a couple people told me that Arkham City is even bigger, and then so I mean I can't even imagine what that's going to be like. And the reason I started going back through it, when I played it on the Xbox 360, for some reason I got part of the way into the game froze and destroyed my save game. So I'm like, well, I'm not starting over. So it's in Game Pass, the entire trilogy, and I was like, well, you know what the hell, I'm going to try it again. Plus it's supposed to be you guys do it. It's supposed to be 4K, which I think it is, or at least it looked it. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me play it again, and I just got hooked. So,
I'll tell you this: I know the trilogy is in Game Pass. Do yourself a favor. For some reason, and it makes me mad, they didn't remaster Origins. Origins did not deserve the criticism it got. I like the concept behind Arkham Origins. The idea of a very inexperienced Batman, all these criminals deciding to gang up on him near Christmas, a bounty put out on him. I like that idea. It's a very fresh take for a Batman game, especially coming after City. Do yourself a favor, pick it up. It's backward compatible. It's worth the few bucks.
Okay. Origins not in there, right?
No, it's not in Game Pass. I don't think it's in Game Pass, and it's not been remastered or anything, but it is backward compatible.
Okay.
Like, I know it hasn't been up-resed or X-enhanced or anything, but it really is worth the playthrough, because I think people were just fatigued a little from how big City was, and they didn't take the time to appreciate what Origin's narrative was trying to do.
Gotcha. Well, where's Arkham Knight stand in that then?
Arkham Knight is
that's the sequel to Origins.
that's the sequel to City. It's the finale, so to speak. And Arkham Knight got a little too clunky, a little too big, but my biggest, I don't want to spoil it for you if you decide to get through it. My biggest issue with Arkham Knight is the narrative. My biggest issue with that is that it ignores its own proverb, if that makes sense. It ignores the message its own narrative is trying to say, and it doesn't really work for me. And then the overuse of the Batmobile, like, I don't know. But hey, it's in Game Pass, so you know what? Make your own choice, by all means.
Okay. All right.
But you can't go wrong with Asylum. You
No.
can't.
Yeah, Asylum was just so good. So Jeff said he enjoyed
One thing
Knight.
about the Batman games, that the combat translated over to inspire like Shadow of Mordor, right?
I don't know if it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Is all the combat the same in
Direct
those?
combat
I
in
did
terms
say
of
all.
like directly counters and how that stuff works.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it did.
I mean, it definitely inspired Spider-Man. I mean, the combat is very close. Very close. So, I'm trying to think if I had.
Frankie,
Trying to think if I had gotten. Oh, I told Peter about it, but I don't think he's gotten a chance to play it yet. Peter, you there?
Yeah, sorry. It got
I
intense.
told you.
Yeah,
I told you to sneak off and play Gears. I told you.
I figured. So, by the way,
Yeah, the multiplayer is a little shaky at times. The services are not always as stable as they can be.
yeah. By the way, welcome for the first time in a long time, our NLG alumni, Frankie Viper Strike. He's in the chat. So, which I have to ask real quick, Frankie, have you seen the trailer for the new Plants vs. Zombies game? It's called Battle for Neighborville or something like that, whatever it was. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it the other Battle for Neighborville. I watched it the other day, and I'm in. I'm in. The game's gonna rock. I'm a big Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare fan, and the new one looks great. So, I don't know if you saw it yet, but it's.
I haven't got a chance to see the trailer. I saw that the trailer came out. I haven't gotten a chance to see the trailer yet, though. I know those games. I've never really been into them, but I know that they have a very passionate.
They're fun.
fan base
They're just straight up fun. That's what I love about them. Is that they don't take they don't take themselves seriously. It's good family fun if you want it to be. If you want to if you get the kids to play with you. It's cute, it's funny, and apparently there's a little bit more to this one than obviously than the than Garden Warfare 2. And this is one I might actually buy and not wait for EA access. So
Frankie, check your DM, Twitter. Maybe he'll play some Gears 5 tomorrow.
ooh, Santa Fastback is in the house. So, the native said he was playing Breakpoint earlier. I forgot there was an alpha for that, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think it's a closed beta. I have access to it as well, but now time is
Time is short.
Another fun co-op game I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's switch gears. Get it?
Nice. Nice.
It as much as that has dominated the discussion on social media, for those who might enjoy other games and other consoles, there was a Nintendo Direct this week. There was one yesterday, and some very interesting. There was some very interesting news that came out of that Nintendo Direct. And I'm going to just rotate in some screenshots that I had grabbed from because we can't show any footage of anything, so I can't show.
That's a great way for Papa Nintendo to come after you.
Yeah, I can't really show any video, but I can show screenshots. So we'll just show some screenshots. But I'm gonna kind of rapid fire a little bit across some of the announcements, and you guys can chime in as needed. Hey, look at that, man! Too much food is in the house. Our friends from the game buffet. What's going on, man? So
good thing because we got hungry.
I know. See, this is what I'm talking about. Again, it's a huge launch night. We got a house full of company in the chat room, and I'm serious. That means so much to us, guys. You guys in that chat room, you honestly don't understand what that means to us. And full transparency, Sam and I were talking earlier, and Sam's like, might be a little light tonight because of Gears. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but we got to go on because we haven't been on in like a couple of weeks. And here you guys all are. And man, I'm it's almost choking me up. So thank you guys in the chat room so much. You guys know we love you. You know we don't do this for any other reason but to have you guys with us, and we love having you guys as part of our show. Okay, Nintendo Direct. So, let me get this slideshow going, and we'll talk about the stuff that has been going on there, because there are some good announcements. And I mean, if you are a Switch owner, you might have some something here for you. So figure out how to.
While you're doing that, Mike, I'll say something very interesting to me. This is something I've been thinking about over the past few months, actually, for Nintendo and for the Switch. But this Direct solidified it. This Direct just slammed it in. Nintendo, for the first time in a long time, is getting consistent third-party support.
Yeah.
The ports stopping. The Wii U, a lot of people forget, the Wii U had great third-party support at launch. Mass Effect 3 came to it. Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, that came to it. Watch Dogs came to it. At launch, the Wii U had a ton of third-party support, and then it crashed and burned, if we're being perfectly honest here.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, nobody bought it. The Switch is still getting ports. Just like in what you saw here, Trials of Mana, that's coming on over. Mm-hmm. Deadly Premonition, what on earth?
So let me go through these.
What on earth? Oh yeah, go.
Yeah, I know. It's right, because Swery, man, he was like, I can't say anything until now, So first off, and I know this is a couple years late, but this is still pretty significant. Overwatch.
It still matters.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest. It's one of those games where, much like Doom or Wolfenstein, it's like, okay, you had to sacrifice a lot to get it to run. It runs at 30 FPS, and I'd pick it up if there was cross progression. If I could take my stuff that I've earned on Xbox over to the Switch version and play it when I'm relaxing in between articles or something, then I would pick it up. But I can't. So, but it's still it's a big deal that it's coming over. Absolutely,
it is a big deal. So and it's not far away. We're talking about October 15th. So it's coming next month. Mm-hmm. And you could play up to 12 people. It's Yeah, so I think by now Switch owners know that to get some of these to get over there, you have to sacrifice something. But I think this is mobile Overwatch. That's not insignificant.
No, it really isn't. And again, like Deadly Premonition, getting a port and Deadly
there's a
Premonition.
picture of it right now. So they're getting so you're getting 2 games. You're getting Deadly Premonition 2, and you're getting Deadly Premonition Origins. So that's also coming.
Now, I will point out that Deadly Premonition is actually backward compatible. Almost nobody I have run into actually knows that, but it is backward compatible.
It is.
So you can pick it up on 360, but still, frankly, at this point, why would you? Just get the remaster on your Switch, and then get 2 on your Switch as well.
Right. So, and you mentioned Black Flag, so they're bringing a
and
Rogue. Right.
Both of those are coming out.
Yep, they're bringing a double. Yep, you're getting a double pack. So you got they showed a little more of Luigi's Mansion 3, which
Which looks good.
It looks great.
I haven't played those games before, but you know what? It looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks
right.
Yeah, definitely would be picking that up for my daughter.
Yep. The Trials of Mana remake, which is also coming out, by the way, I believe on PS4 and Steam. And then the Super Kirby Clash, Obra Dinn is coming, but that was coming to multiple consoles too. Yeah, Jeff, that's what he said. It's backward compatible on Xbox One. And then, of course, we have Banjo-Kazooie in Smash Brothers Ultimate, as well as...
Yep.
I just had him. It's tip of my tongue. Crap.
Terry.
Terry, right. Terry from Fatal Fury is going to be in there. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Mike, and just when we thought the speculation was going to reach fever pitch for this last character and then die down, they reveal that poor Sakurai is going to continue to work because they're making even more fighters.
Yes. There's like another 5 or 6 of them coming.
I don't think they gave a number. They didn't say a number.
I thought they said a number. Okay, I'll go back and look, but I thought they said it was number 5.
Maybe they did and I missed it, but the point is, more are coming. So, internet speculate away. It ain't gonna end.
One cool thing about the Banjo-Kazooie real quick is that the guy, I can't remember his name, but
just about to
when he was talking about it, he said, go play Banjo-Kazooie on Xbox. Which that was a cool,
funniest thing.
Friendly gesture back. Yeah.
But you know what? I'll say this. Yeah, there was a laugh track, and okay, it's funny, haha. But would we have seen that years ago if Microsoft and Nintendo weren't close?
Nope.
You would not see that.
And honestly,
because they're now to the point where it's like, Sakurai, we're comfortable with you mentioning Xbox One and telling people to go buy it and play on it. It's okay.
Because they're not competing anymore. They're not competing anymore. That's just it.
Not to that extent.
Not to that extent. They are. Come on. Most people are. And here I'm going to. I actually know the answer to this question because I saw it. I knew I saw it. Now I'm just looking for the. Here we go. Challenger Pack 5. So I think maybe that's what it was. It was just it's going to be another Challenger Pack coming. So these are what you have now. By the way, Banjo is available now, and Terry will be available in November.
That's last night, actually. Banjo
right.
Available. Which, by the way, can we just give Sakurai and the team at Bandai Namco who have done this the top praise in the world? I mean, it's one thing to say everyone is here. It's another thing to say, we're pretty much going out of our way to give people anything they could ever want and more in Smash Bros. Smash has become one of my go-to couch games for when I've got friends over. We will boot up Smash.
Seems to kind of be bleeding into that games as a service kind of territory with all these fighter packs and stuff.
Gee, it's almost as if some of us said games as a service isn't necessarily a bad thing a couple of years ago. I'm not going to get into that. I promise, Mike.
So Divinity Original Sin 2 is coming. For those of you
With
Divinity fans.
Steam crossplay.
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
Why
sure.
not?
Lair is a great studio. Why not?
Why not? And I know it's nostalgia. I know it's only nostalgic, but you saw the picture. You saw the screenshot in there a minute ago. Doom 64. I mean,
Yeah.
I
First time.
Yeah. I remember playing Doom 64. I mean, I had a Nintendo 64. That was my first Nintendo console. It was
I mean, guys, is it too early for us to say that this is one of the best Nintendo consoles ever in terms of what we're getting? Is it too early to make that claim?
yes.
No.
It's incorrect. It's a handheld.
My favorite. Well, I look at it both.
But it's
Not
a great
wrong.
handheld.
All right,
not
all right,
wrong.
it's
You can still console it up
it's
too. So
It's a
gaming device. Let's put it that way.
it's
It's one of Nintendo's greatest gaming devices ever.
yes,
definitely better than the
very
3DS.
and especially right here where it's showing this Super NES games being added now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's just
That's
fantastic.
my
Yep.
Super NES was my favorite. So
Yep. Jedi Knight 2. I mean, now we're getting.
Yeah, and I do. Yeah, which by the way is coming to PS4 as well.
Yes.
That's on PS4
Yeah.
as well. Not on Xbox, and I'm really surprised.
Yes,
because-
considering the first one is.
Well, yeah, the first one came through the back compat.
Right.
That's the OG Xbox games that's on there, which I don't know. I don't see that lasting. I don't see it not coming to Xbox.
Well, I'm trying
for long.
to trying to think who owns that. Who owns those IPs now?
EA has the exclusive rights in terms of new games, but I don't think that extends to old property. I'm pretty sure it's just at the behest of like Lucasfilm under Disney. Like you just like they have to talk to Lucasfilm.
But I thought that
which
I thought that LucasArts was
not LucasArts. I'm talking about like
yes, but LucasArts made that game.
right. They did. Yes, they did. Actually, they published that game. Raven Software.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's their IP. So I'm trying to think, and there's no Disney Interactive anymore. So I'm trying to think who would publish it now, and that.
Hold on, I can find out actually.
Yeah, I'm
if you
trying to
give
look
me-
it up myself.
I will find out who is porting it because
Come
if
on,
I can
Jeff,
find out.
hurry up.
Jeff should already been
Jeff,
out.
I know Jeff is.
Who are what's porting
Slacking. He
it?
must be playing Gears 5.
I know Jeff is usually our go-to encyclopedia.
Yeah, Asper Studio are the ones who are like actually handling the port. Asper Media.
Okay.
So they're a private company. Okay, you know what? I'll say this. I am looking forward to when those release on the 24th because I'm going to find out who's publishing them. Because you raise a very good question.
That's true. They'll be on the box.
Yeah, it'll be there. So.
It'll be there.
We will find out.
Yes, we will.
We will. Yeah.
We will figure one way or another. We're gonna know. Oh
But
my
I thought
goodness.
that LucasArts is still around. Like they're the ones interacting with like EA and so on when it comes to Star Wars games properties, right?
No, they were acquired by Disney in 2012.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but they're still a LucasArts division. They're not making games, but could they be the ones still
the name
being the
exists.
Yeah.
The name exists. Like it's not. There are maybe 10 people, and that's a stretch.
And they did it. They right. So what they did was they got them, and then they scuttled them in 2013. But they kept it. They kept the name there just so they can remain a licensor.
Which, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Mike, they probably just had Asper talk to them, and it'll probably be published under the LucasArts name, anyways.
Could be,
what I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Could be.
That's
Like
what I'm thinking.
that's probably how they'll handle it.
Yeah, that could be.
But hey, you know what? Switch owners, PS4 owners, go nuts, go get it.
You have
fun
to.
with that,
Well, the Jedi Knight series. First off, that whole series of games from that era. Sorry, I hit my microphone. That whole series from that era, which was the I like to call it the pre-Forced Unleashed games.
Mm-hmm.
Were so good. And I know when most people think of the Star Wars games, they think of Knights of the Old Republic. But these two games, the Jedi Knight series, had such a profound. It was almost like you wanted them to be canon, and you knew they weren't, but they had all the elements of what a Star Wars movie would be. And because it was Lucas, they had all the sound effects and all the music and all the and so it felt like Star Wars, even if it wasn't canon.
Right.
It was just so I can't tell you enough. If you have an Xbox One or an Xbox 360, grab Jedi Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's in Game Pass or not, but if it's not, just go get it.
They gave it out for free with Games of Gold at one point.
They
so
did.
You don't have an excuse not to get it,
And it is-
even if you don't.
And it is it's X enhanced. I do know it's X enhanced. And
cleans
it's
up.
60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
but
so go get it.
Go
Have
get it.
fun, and then get this. If you've got a Switch or a PS4, they've been on PC. They've been available on PC through Steam, actually. But if you have a PS4 or a Switch and you want to get it, grab the second one.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
What a fantastic direct. That was a fantastic
Yeah.
direct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, you could see inspirations from those because I didn't play those games before, like the Jedi Knight Academy and stuff like that.
yep.
Of course, I played the Knights of the Old Republic, but you see the inspiration from those games in Knights of the Old Republic. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the developers that worked on those games were on the Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe at BioWare and Obsidian. So, real quick, shout out to Game Buffet that he asked if any of us were going to get the Switch Lite. I do plan on getting one.
Oh man.
So.
It's not for me, but
Apparently
but
for
I
my daughter, my
appreciate
6-year-old.
people who it's for. I do appreciate who it is for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it'd be a better fit for my 6-year-old than the Switch itself. And I'm kind of being stingy about it because I'm gonna bring the Switch into my gaming room. So, and here's your light. So we'll see how she handles that.
he also Game Buffet also wants me to punch this code into the chat and give away this Xbox Game Pass trial. So
There you go.
Nice.
There you
punch
go.
this into the chat room real quick. First come, first
Thanks, Game
serve.
Buffet.
Thank you, sir. You are a man amongst men. See, these are the kind of people we got. These are the kind of gamers I want to surround myself with.
So what's this picture with the Super NES controller? Is this Bluetooth they can use on the Switch?
Yes.
I don't think
That I've been
Bluetooth.
seeing?
Is it Bluetooth? I thought it was just
hold on, I will tell
Well, I
you.
Should be able to.
Hang on.
Instead of buying the Pro controller, because if that's the case, I'll be getting one of those.
Sorry, hang on one sec. I will tell you if I see it.
Speaking of
okay.
controllers,
So the Super Nintendo System Controller, you're playing with power. Enjoy enhanced Super NES games the way they're meant to be played using a full-size SNES controller available for purchase only by Nintendo Switch Online members. This wireless controller offers the perfect way to play these Super NES games. It does not say specifically whether it is Bluetooth or not, but it does say it's wireless.
I don't think it's Bluetooth, but it's definitely wireless. And
yeah.
I liked when during the direct, the presenter said, "So isn't it great that you can play these SNES games with these SNES controllers?" He's like, "Buy it, you schmucks. You know you're going to.
Right.
Just go ahead."
Yeah, yeah, you already got me. Speaking real quick, I was showing off picked up the Gears 5.
Oh, nice. That looks
Very
cool.
nice.
Nice.
I had to replace, and it just came in today, so perfect timing.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to replace my custom design lab controller. So games.
Sucks.
And then I picked up this because the charger. Got this at the Microsoft store.
Right, cool.
The charger for the little Gears, not Gears, but Fallout.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
A couple little goodies that I have to keep secure. So
Yeah. All right. So, by the way, also in that direct, which was a big, sort of a big announcement, was the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Yes, that was the final part. And my understanding, could be wrong about this, from reading the PR that they gave us to look over, is that it's actually more of a remake than it is a remaster. Like, they're not just up-resing everything. Like, they're doing more work on it, is my understanding. I never played, full disclosure, I never played Xenoblade Chronicles. I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or Xenoblade Chronicles X, but I'm thinking I might pick this up. I might try it out.
Yeah. Well, so the official word is Xenoblade Chronicles, which originally launched in 2012 on the Wii system, is destined to be reborn on the Switch as blah blah blah. All it says it's scheduled for launch in 2020, and it doesn't say anything beyond that. So,
Well, we will see.
There's a lot of
We'll see.
people
I'll
that
tell you this, though.
are interested.
At this point, it's funny. The only real, I'm sure someone will remind me there's something else, but at this point, the real glaring exceptions for me, that like the stuff that I need to get ported to the Switch, is a couple of Zelda games, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Come on, I need Wind Waker and I need Twilight Princess, and then the bigger omission to me is the Metroid Prime games. Those not being on here is a little surprising.
I think it's coming.
That.
The Metroid Prime games are definitely coming at some point.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way they're not.
Yeah, because they a little delay, right? They sent it back to the a different developer.
Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 essentially restarted development, so they've probably held them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. And they talked about them shortly after launch, so it's not like everybody knows they're coming, so it's not a big secret.
Yeah.
So that's but I know a lot of. I saw a lot of reaction to the Xenoblade announcement. So a lot of people did play it.
Mm-hmm.
So. But I'm just looking to see if there was anything else hugely significant. Obviously there are some. They did show some other games: Farming Simulator, Devil May Cry 2, Vampire, all coming to the Switch. It's finally this is I think what Nintendo fans were hoping for would finally happen. Is they would finally Mario and Sonic. Tokyo. So we're getting you remember remember all the Olympic Games stuff they did. So they're back again with another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So we're I think we're finally seeing what Nintendo had hoped, or Nintendo fans had hoped for, which was some true third-party support of games that. Games that obviously they've enjoyed on the Wii and Wii U, but then the Overwatches and Tetris 99, which has a new mode coming, Dragon's Quest 11 Definitive Edition, which was also announced during that direct. Obviously getting Tales of Mana, getting Obra Dinn, getting what was this one? Hold on, sorry about that. It's every time you click on one, it has to play a video, and I'm trying to avoid that. Little Town Hero, so
which is from Game Freak, the same one, the studio that is making that makes the mainline Pokemon games, including the upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Right, which I didn't talk about.
They managed to slip that in there, but okay,
right,
all right,
right,
cool. If you're a Switch owner, you are not lacking for things to play. You're just not lacking.
No.
But right now on my Switch, I still have Bayonetta 2 and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Those are the Switch games I'm playing right now, and I've had to kind of put them on hold, obviously, because Gears, of course. But I do intend to get back to them at some point. But you got plenty of stuff to play.
Oh yeah,
they're doing well. Nintendo is doing really well.
Yes, they are. So there's no reason to complain. I mean, yeah, there's some games on there that are not for some. People. You always hear people. Well, I've grown up from Nintendo, which is fine. But you do, like you said, they're bringing a lot of serious games, third-party support on the Switch. So, I think some of these games look good. I see no reason to make a big deal about it. Not being in 4K or whatever. And people who own a Switch only is perfectly fine, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh yeah. All right. So we're coming up on 11:15, and we've been 2 hours in. I know people want to play Gears 5.
Don't try the multiplayer though.
All right, don't try the multiplayer, folks.
It's very shaky. The services are not.
They're working on adding more servers, stabilizing things. But I mean, hey, why are you diving into multiplayer? You should be playing the campaign.
Exactly.
Well, I can't do it when I'm podcasting. It's like
I know.
I have to concentrate then on the story.
You're good. You have one excuse.
Yeah, one job, man. One job.
Yeah, that's fine. But you got. I circling back around to Gears. I know, but I cannot wait to what people think about this campaign when they see some of the stuff that is in store. I think people are going to be really happy.
I'm on my way to it. So, of course, like I said, stupid me. I didn't pre-launch, so I'm gonna probably.
We'll load fast.
True, it might.
Yeah, they put this on the fast burner.
It may.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time too, I was playing a little Hitman, which is good. And I also I tried playing a little Bard's Tale, and
it's rough.
Yeah. I it's what I remember, and maybe that's what I don't know.
With all that it implies, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's like it exists. It's fine. In Exile is a part of Microsoft now. Obviously, they delayed Wasteland 3, and they've been polishing it up. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there have been some previews, and impressions are really positive for what they're doing with Wasteland. Now, preview, like the important thing is, like in every preview I read from other members of the press, they're like, "Hey, we delayed this game because Microsoft said, how much money do you need to make this what you want to be? How many more people do you need to hire to make this game as good as it can possibly be?" And Gears 5, I don't know if you know this, is the first game going out under the Xbox Game Studios banner. And it's interesting because it seems like to me, for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, they actually are a cohesive first party, all working together. You constantly see stories about, well, this person hit this person up, and Rare is having a members of Obsidian over right now. What are they working on?
Right.
Why are they working on together?
Well, that's what I
Matt
said.
Booty,
So I said, what about that? What about that Conquer RPG?
Right, but it's like, seriously, and then Matt Booty in an interview with Game Informer mentioned that Rare and Ninja Theory are like working on procedural tech together. And then Playground has been talking to Turn 10. They're implementing ideas for the next Forza. It's like, that's cool. I like seeing that kind of thing. Difference, because that's something Sony has had for a long time. And it's one of their strengths is the different studios, like, yeah, they're competing with each other, but they're also relying on each other. They're sharing tech and they're sharing ideas. Horizon Zero Dawn was literally born because Naughty Dog talked to Guerrilla and said, hey, we have this idea. There's no way we'd ever have time to do it, but maybe this would work in Decima Engine, and look what happened. Wow. And I like seeing that kind of thing. So it's really cool.
Yeah, no, and not only that, but it helps keep people employed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But also look at all the the facials of those all those characters. They all like very polished, and they all kind of look kind of similar. So there's a lot of sharing of tech between all those studios. I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
that's just smart.
Sam, speaking of all that, did you notice anything in Gears 5 that might have been some inspired from other studios?
Just one very small thing, and I really like. Well, okay, there's one other thing I'm going to say. There's one small thing that's funny. The banners. You know how in Gears you have the banners, right, that you can put up for your characters and stuff. They have banners for other games that are now a part of Xbox Game Studios. So there's a Wasteland banner, there's a Hellblade banner, a Sea of Thieves banner, Forza banners. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's a pretty neat thing. And then the other thing, this isn't a spoiler in my opinion. The very first frame, you know how Sony does that? Sony Interactive Entertainment Presents on a black screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do Xbox Game Studios and the Coalition Presents. I'm like, okay, you've shamelessly copied that, and I'm totally okay with that. That's fine. You want people to associate it with quality, so all right, that's fine. I get what you're doing. That's funny. But no, I don't. Like, this is a Coalition game. Make no mistake. I say that. The Coalition got support from Splash Damage. A lot of people don't know that. Splash Damage is a support studio in the UK that does a lot of work. They have done a lot of work in the past helping the Gears franchise.
Yeah.
With Gears 4, I want to say they helped with Judgment 3, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that 100%. I think they did. They definitely helped with 4, and they helped with 5, and they are actually the lead developers on Gears Tactics, with the Coalition supporting them.
Yeah.
So Splash Damage deserves some credit too. They did a lot of game, but it's takes a lot of work. It's well past the days of 30, 40 people being able to make these kinds of games. Well past.
I thought Sea of Thieves had some Halo stuff in there for the cells and stuff like that. Any Gears stuff in Sea of Thieves?
Not yet, but I'll be shocked if we don't have any. Yeah. I'll be shocked if there isn't some Gears stuff over the next 6 or 7 months. I think there will be at some point.
I'm surprised there's not one yet, but.
Which, by the way, speaking of Halo stuff, the fact that there are 2 Spartans in multiplayer is just the coolest thing.
Yeah, I know.
I can literally have Kat and Emil fighting with Batista against the Terminator. And that's the coolest thing in the world. Like, yes, give that to me, That is awesome. I love it. And actually, those characters are usable in Escape and Horde as well. That's not just multiplayer skins.
Nice.
You can use the other modes. They've got their own abilities and everything.
So it's a Terminator, and then you can play as Linda.
But like the Spartans. The Spartans.
Okay. But you have the other skins too, right? The Terminator stuff.
Yeah, the Terminator is on the Swarm side, obviously. And then
Yeah. And then they just showed what's his name, the wrestler guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. A lot of people thought it was were they being trolled? But yeah, no, that's cool. A lot of good stuff. A lot of big support.
Yeah, very much so. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna unless anybody else has any other stuff going that they want to bring up, I will. I'll wrap it up here, and we'll get to our Gears stuff.
Hint, Frankie.
Hint. Right. So, so Sam, thank you. As always.
Mike, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me. It worked out perfectly.
It did.
It really
did.
For me to get to go through Gears and then come here.
Yeah.
And talk. That worked out really well. I appreciate
it. This is good. This is, hearing all the noise on, and Twitter and other podcasts, so and the whole deal about the score and all that. It's like, I'm glad that we got to get a little bit more in depth in the game itself, some mechanics and so on. And so it's awesome having you here, Sam, to kind of
I didn't tell this story. I didn't tell this story publicly, actually, but at E3, I was at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I actually bumped Rod Ferguson, and I talked to him briefly as we were walking. He had somewhere to be, so it was just like 2 minutes. I talked to him for like 2 minutes. I was like, Rod, I'm a huge Gears fan. I love this stuff, but I gotta tell you, like, while what you guys showed at E3 was cool, I like the presentation, I like Escape, I really wanted to see Campaign. And he smiled and he was like, trust me, you won't be disappointed. I was like, all right, we'll see. I know he can't say more, but I'm very happy to say Rod was confident then, and I now understand why he was confident, because he was correct, and that makes me happy.
That makes sense. I mean, it's multiplayer is big, and they wanted to push that. I mean, that's what's going to keep going for Gears 5 long after people play the campaign. So to me, it kind of made sense to make a big deal about these new multiplayer modes. Yes, I would have liked to have seen the campaign or like that trailer that we saw at Gamescom. But I tell you what, I had no problem waiting. What I saw at Gamescom, very happy, and it's been a big excitement push from Dumb and Xbox to show off this game. So it's created a lot of buzz out there. So
Absolutely,
it's gonna do well.
I mean, look at what people are only talking about Gears right now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, people are.
No, that is true. That's very true. We spent the good first half of our show talking about it. First 3/4 of the show, actually.
It seems like the last 2 weeks, every day a new trailer has come out. I mean, I know that's an exaggeration, but like, they've been going hard.
Well, and I have been doing my best. I mean, I know. Look, I know Ninja went and was streaming the first, the campaign, and
we didn't even. What a big deal that is! Like, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it either, but I'll tell you this. I get why Microsoft is doing it. I know people don't like influencer marketing. I'm not the biggest fan myself, but I'll tell you what. There's a method to their madness. There's a reason they're doing it. There's a reason they bought him.
They're exactly.
Well, also, I mean,
that's what I said.
They need some big facial mixer,
Absolutely.
Like Ninja. I mean, it's to advertise their, their platform, and hopefully more of them will come. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, the dude just signed up with Adidas, and he's gonna drop Microsoft's name, and he's gonna drop the Xbox brand name wherever he goes. It's worth whatever they're paying him.
Absolutely, and the fact that he's advertising Gears to an audience that has probably most of them never even heard of Gears.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
what
deal.
he's there for. Yeah,
even
to the younger
of them decides to try it out. That's a big deal to Microsoft. And I'll tell you this right now, guys. I'll call this right now over a year in advance. You think that is something? You watch how hard they're going to have him push Halo Infinite. Because Halo is what Ninja actually was trained on. That was his original game. That was what he did. I'm telling you, Just watch what they do next year.
Yeah,
With that,
that's like you said, because what is he at? 2 million or what? But
over
by the
2 million
time
subscribers now. Yep.
and by the time Halo Infinite comes out, he's going to be should be double, more than that
Easily.
by then,
Yep.
and that just benefits him, benefits Mixer and Xbox and
Yep.
Halo.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
it's like I said, that stuff is not for me, but hey, it's for somebody. It's for the next generation of gamers coming up. So hey, whatever.
You
works.
don't have to watch it. You can still avoid it. It's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have Sam who can do these, and Windows Central to, do these games for us and read their articles. So I'm good. That's my cup of tea.
Sorry for keeping us from shutting down for a minute.
No.
there, Mike.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. So I appreciate it. I want to thank you again. This was great, and so I just put in the chat. I mean, I know it's campy, but it's hard. It's hard for me to express, especially like I said. Peter and I know we and Chris, who work overtime and who work tremendous hours during the week, who just come here. We don't have a Patreon. We don't do super chats. We don't. We know that there are other shows out there, even on Thursday nights, that get a lot more traffic than we do. We know where we stand, and we also know how hard we work in the real life to then come here and just spend a couple hours at night, no less, knowing we got to work the next day, talking games, and to have that many people in the chat room that came to hang out with us.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool. I mean, this is why we do it. We do it for fun and love hanging out with you guys and the guys in chat. And Sam, you coming on with us. I mean, proud of you. Seeing from where you come from. Remember you. Forgive me, but I know you were doing the deal with what's her name, right? You start off.
Yeah,
over
Bella.
there.
She gave me
Yep.
my first start.
Bella,
Actually. Right.
yeah.
She
And
drilled. She drilled my
Yeah.
ethics into me, honestly,
Yeah.
with the way
She's
I wouldn't
awesome,
be
yeah.
what I am without her, and I appreciate that.
But
yeah,
it's been a
while,
pleasure
couple
just watching
years,
you
I'll
grow.
tell you that.
Yeah.
It's been a while, couple of years.
So
But, I mean, it's exciting.
well.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Look forward to seeing more from you with Windows Central. So
I watched you from Tick, where you kind of really jumped into the writing part, and to see what you've got, to see where you've gone and what you're doing now, man. I'm so proud of you. You are one of my favorites, and you had been. You know how I feel about you, man. You've been one of my favorites for a long time. Your writing style, your attention to detail, and your attention to objectivity, it's sorely needed. So
I appreciate that. I do.
yeah. So. All right, guys. I'm gonna, unless anybody else has anything, I'm gonna go ahead and take a third shot at calling it here.
appreciate it, Frankie. Hey, Frankie had to drink some Mountain Dew to stay up with this.
Yeah, man, it's good. So, we miss Frankie. No, Frankie's been busy. Kicking new job and all the stuff going on in Frankie's life, and so anytime we get a chance to have him around, we appreciate it. I think he's still working on kind of reviving Short Pause, and we'll definitely help advertise that with him, and keep checking out Sam's stuff on Mobile Nation, which we'll keep an eye on, and we'll help advertise too. So make sure you follow him on Twitter. His Twitter handle is down there. Where else can they find you, Sam?
Actually, that's kind of it.
Okay.
Being honest.
All right.
Like, if you want to talk to me, come talk to me on Twitter. That really is the best place.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Sounds like
Are
a plan.
you going to be on Multiverse?
Yes, I am actually. We came back. We had a lot of technical issues because we're trying some new stuff. Ivan's trying some new stuff. It was rough, being honest, because we're going through new things. But we had our return episode after taking a break for the summer, and we're back. So you can find us all there. You can find the crew there.
Excellent. Very excellent. And gaming perspective, you and
Nick has had to take a break because I don't know if you know this. He's on a work trip, I believe, in Montreal. Actually, so he's had that, and he's had some things going on. So we've been on break as well. There, we've been taking a bit of a break, but we'll be coming back there late September, I believe.
Okay.
Is the current plan. Before this month is over, we're going to be back there. So Nick will be there. Jared, Eric, you can find us there for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Good.
All right.
Yep. Cruiser, you guys know what it's like. You got to breathe every now and again. Sometimes life happens.
That's
got to settle down. It's like, okay, all right, let's take a minute here. Let's remember what's important. Take a couple of weeks, then we'll come back to it.
That is what we did.
I gave Mike and HTK a vacation the last 2 weeks.
You very much did. You very much did, which we appreciated. So, all right, guys. Well, everybody have a great week and great rest of the week and great weekend. And man, get your gears in and
stay up and play gears. Do what's important.
Stay up and play gears. And we'll see you next Thursday night. So next Thursday night, we're gonna double check with him. We should have Thomas back on, our great friend PlayStation Bra. He actually, so this is how important that you are to us, Sam. I bumped him for you because I had to bump you because of your wisdom teeth. So
to be fair, I also had to bump him because he and I were supposed to play Gears 4 together. But Gears came and I was like, well.
so we got it.
Hey, that's right. I was gonna say I sent him a little surprise. I bribed him. He's all right.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good going.
Yeah.
You should be able to play some Gears 5 with you soon.
That's fantastic. So, man, you're such a good person, Chris. You really are.
I try.
You are.
I try.
Man, it's so.
People just take from me. No, I'm joking.
No,
it's just taking. I just keep giving.
I know it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have you around, man. You really are, man.
I just appreciate everybody. So.
Yep. So so next week, PlayStation Brawl will be back and on with us, and we're still pushing, We got more guests coming, and
got a couple more lined up.
And WDFC is going to keep ramping back up, and Niles already asked me what's next for him to stream, and we got something else. So we got something in the hopper that we're still working on, and if all goes well, we'll debut it in October sometime. Putting the finishing touches on something that we think is going to be really good for the gaming community at large. So
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody have a great night. I'm gonna forego the because I haven't redone our outro yet. So I'm just gonna cut us out and just say goodnight, everybody.
Gears on, gamers. Gears on.
Gears on. That's excellent.
Gears 5. Thank y'all, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, hold on a second. We might have a couple of second after show while I try to figure out how. So this is little how to make the sausage. YouTube is so much more difficult to start and stop your videos. Like I could just click stop in when we were Twitch. I could just click stop up there in in XSplit and it would stop. But no, I have to go into the event, and there's this dumb control room that I have to go click stop on. So, thanks everybody. We're going to stop streaming. Everybody have a great week. Good weekend. Peace out.